What if you could see the world for less than $95 a day? Here's how I do it solo, safely across RVs and cruise ships. People think solo full time travel is a pipe dream or that it costs a fortune. I'm here to tell you it doesn't. Hello, and I'm Joe. Welcome to my video about how I travel all year in an RV in the US and cruise ships all over the world on a budget of less than $43,000 a year as a solo person. That breaks down to just $3,600 a month. In this video, I'm pulling back the curtain and giving you exact breakdown of my expenses. No fluff, just real numbers. I'll show you what I spend on cruises, the real costs of full-time RV life, and the strategies I use as a solo traveler to make it all work. I do already have a video on how to find low-cost cruises. See the link above. I retired 8 years ago, sold everything, bought a motorhome to live in full-time while traveling the US. 3 years ago, I added cruising to my travels and have done 31 cruises since. This is the best of both worlds. RVing is the ultimate freedom, a connection to nature and the great outdoors and control over my environment. Cruising offers variety, a break from cooking and driving, as well as a sampler of different locations daily throughout the world. There are many benefits to traveling as a solo person. On the ship, there's a built-in community. It's easy to meet people during meals and many activities on board. This helps combat loneliness. In the RV, I get my quiet time. It is my personal space. Solo female travelers, what's your biggest safety concern? Drop it in a comment below. I typically spend the late spring, summer, and early fall in the RV traveling the US. I have been cross-country several times already. Fall, winter, and spring, I do as many cruises as possible, 31 in the past 3 years. Cruises tend to be cheaper during these shoulder seasons too. My total budget is under $43,000 a year. This is based on how I like to live my life in the RV and based on 8 years of doing this. Flexibility is the key for me, and being solo provides this one main advantage. I have non-discretionary costs and flexible costs. This is how I can do these two different lifestyles on this budget amount. I will talk about non-discretionary costs first. Non-discretionary items are amounts I cannot easily change, like an annual membership or a monthly payment. First up in the non-discretionary category is for RV expenses. I spend $1,140 on internet, $384 on mail forwarding, $396 annually on memberships, and in here are things like RV clubs, warehouse clubs, Amazon Prime, etc. $1,732 annually on full-time RV insurance, $120 annually on TV stream. I pay by the month and switch it up often to binge what I want and what I can cancel when I want. I allocate $4,944 to vehicle maintenance, and this is a must-have. This is a total of $8,716 for this subtotal category. Next up is the non-discretionary vehicle and personal items. I spend $1,211 on fuel for a car, $823 on a cell phone, haircut is $280, a Sirius streaming subscription is $132, and a small storage facility is $887. Insurance for the car is $1,704, and vehicle registrations for the car and RV is $125. Subtotal for this category, $5,162. Next up is medical. In here are premiums, copays, and deductibles. Annually, it is $1,656. This is the end of what I call non-discretionary and comes to a total $15,535. Would you rather spend a month in a national park or on a cruise ship? Comment below. I've done both. Now we come to the flexible part. First up are flexible RV expenses. These are items that can fluctuate and I can control easily. I budget $6,240 for campground stays. That is $520 a month. Here's a secret: I don't spend nearly that amount on campgrounds. There's $48 for propane, $3,708 for fuel for the RV, and $252 for tolls. This subtotals $10,248 for the RV flexible category. The final subcategory are what I call personal expenses. I budget $318 for clothing, $3,846 for food, $4,348 for dining out, $4,374 for personal, and this is anything not in another category like going to a concert, movie, gifts, etc. And finally, $4,012 for vacations. And yes, I do budget for vacation. That comes to $16,898 for the personal flexible category. And the subtotal flexible is $27,146. The grand total, $42,681. Your numbers may be different, but now you know what mine are. And you do need to know what your numbers are. Knowing your numbers is the way to success in this lifestyle, in my opinion. What's your biggest travel expense worry? Let's talk in the comments. Notice that there is no line for cruises. This is because I started RVing and that's how I know my numbers so well. This is how I am able to afford cruising. When I cruise, I don't spend on RV fuel, campgrounds, and other flexible spending categories. That's how I afford more travel without spending more overall. I allocate those saved costs to cruising. Here's a quick example. I budget for flexible expenses but decide to cruise for a month. I know I will not spend these flexible amounts that month. Breaking these amounts down by month, it is $520, $4, $309, $21, $27, $320, $362, $365, and $334 for the month. That's a total of $2,582. If it were just those 5 categories I would be saving on, I would have a cruise budget of $2,582 or $92 a day. In reality, there are more flexible items that, if cruising, I will not be spending while in the RV. Also, items like campground and RV fuel, I do not spend those amounts monthly, so I can allocate those unused amounts from other months to cruising. Over the past 3 years, I've spent $25,737 for 271 days of cruising, and that's $95 a day. And that's a fully loaded cost, meaning it is the cruise fare, travel to and from the port, airfare, rideshare, tips, excursions, etc. Here's the amounts I've actually done by year. Remember, those flexible expenses from above with a total of $2,582? Well, for cruises, they usually do 7-day cruises and it's a multiple, so let's call it 28 days in an average cruise month. That comes to $92 a day. My average for cruising, $95 a day. That $3 is made up easily on those other months not spending the total amount of a budgeted category. It's affordable and doable and easy. I use Quicken and have used it since the 1980s. I use the budget functionality and track what I spend in the above categories. With all the integrated credit cards and banking built into Quicken, it is easy to keep track of all this. During the year, when I purchase a cruise, I move part of the budget campground costs to vacation within Quicken. I accumulate all my cruise costs within the vacation category. This keeps me on track to not overspend during the year. I use a free tool called the Cruise Globe. It maps a cruise you have been taken when you enter it into your profile. Here are all mine since 2015. If you want to see my full cruise cost breakdown, let me know below. You don't need to be rich, just creative and determined. If you're dreaming of traveling, I hope this makes it feel achievable. What's the number one thing holding you back from traveling more? Let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about it. If you found these useful, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and share with others for more real-life budget travel. And there you have it. Mindset is key. This lifestyle is not about luxury, it's about freedom. It requires planning and tracking what you spend. It takes a little discipline, but the payoff is huge, and seeing the world on your own terms is unforgettable. Thanks for watching. Stay adventurous, and I'll see you on the road or at sea.